Jeffrey Epstein was once a man of immense influence, a financier who maneuvered through the corridors of power with ease, counting presidents, royalty, and billionaires among his close associates. However, the world eventually learned that behind this facade of philanthropy and high finance lay a dark reality of systemic sexual abuse, human trafficking, and a global network of exploitation. His story, which culminated in the massive legal disclosures of late 2025, is a testament to how power and money can be used to shield the most heinous crimes for decades. Jeffrey Epstein's journey began in Brooklyn, New York. Despite never finishing his college degree, he managed to land a job teaching mathematics and physics at the prestigious Dalton School in Manhattan. It was here that he began his ascent, catching the eye of Alan Greenberg, then CEO of Bear Stearns. By the late 1970s, Epstein had moved from the classroom to Wall Street, quickly making a name for himself as a ruthless and effective trader. By the late 1980s, Epstein established his own financial firm, J. Epstein & Company. His business model was as mysterious as his personal life. He reportedly only accepted clients with a net worth of over $1 billion. His most significant client was Leslie Wexner, the billionaire owner of L Brands. Wexner gave Epstein unprecedented power over his personal and professional finances, providing him with the wealth and social standing to build an empire of luxury properties. The most infamous of these properties was Little St. James, a 72-acre private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. To the public, it was a tropical paradise featuring a main residence designed by world-renowned architects, multiple guest villas, and a unique blue and white striped temple topped with a golden dome. However, survivors who escaped the island told a very different story. They described a high-security prison where young girls were trafficked and subjected to horrific abuse. The island was nicknamed Pedophile Island by locals, and for years, it operated as a hub for Epstein's trafficking ring. The infrastructure of the island was designed for concealment. Rumors of underground tunnels persist to this day, with evidence suggesting they were used to move staff and victims without being seen by elite guests who were visiting the main villas. Epstein transported his guests and victims to the island using his private Boeing 727, infamously known as the Lolita Express. Flight logs from this plane would later become a critical piece of evidence, documenting the numerous trips taken by powerful individuals into Epstein's private world. Epstein was a master of social engineering. He didn't just want wealth, he wanted proximity to power. His social circle included some of the most prominent names in global history. Prince Andrew was perhaps the most damaged by his association with Epstein. The Duke of York was accused by Virginia Giuffre of sexually abusing her while she was being trafficked by Epstein. Despite categorical denials, a photo of the prince with his arm around a young Giuffre became an indelible image of the scandal. By late 2025, after years of legal battles and a multi-million-dollar settlement, Prince Andrew was stripped of his royal titles and public duties. Records also showed that former U.S. President Bill Clinton had flown on Epstein's jet at least 26 times. While Clinton denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes, his frequent presence in the financier's orbit fueled years of public scrutiny. Donald Trump was also a neighbor of Epstein in Palm Beach during the 1990s and early 2000s, and they were frequently photographed together at high society parties. While Trump later claimed they had a falling out, the depth of their early friendship remained a point of intense interest for investigators. Even tech titans were not immune. Investigations revealed that Bill Gates had met with Epstein multiple times to discuss philanthropy, a decision he later admitted was a huge mistake. The first major crack in Epstein's armor appeared in 2005 when Courtney Wild and other brave survivors reported him to the Palm Beach police. The subsequent FBI investigation uncovered a massive operation involving dozens of victims. However, instead of a life sentence, Epstein's lawyers negotiated a non-prosecution agreement in 2008. This deal, often called the sweetheart deal, allowed Epstein to plead guilty to lesser state charges of soliciting a minor for prostitution. He served only 13 months in a county jail with work release privileges, meaning he spent 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, working in his own office. This gross miscarriage of justice allowed Epstein to continue his crimes for another decade. The tide finally turned in 2019. Following a relentless investigative series by the Miami Herald, federal prosecutors in New York brought new charges of sex trafficking and conspiracy against Epstein. This time, there would be no secret deal. On July 6, 2019, Epstein was arrested at Teterboro Airport. He was held without bail at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. However, on the morning of August 10, 2019, the world was stunned by the news that Epstein had been found dead in his cell. The official ruling was suicide by hanging, but the circumstances sparked immediate and widespread skepticism. On the night of his death, the two guards assigned to watch him fell asleep and falsified logs. The CCTV cameras outside his cell had malfunctioned, and he had recently been removed from suicide watch despite a prior incident. The phrase, "Epstein didn't kill himself," became a global meme, symbolizing the public's belief that he was silenced to protect the powerful names in his little black book. With Epstein dead, the focus shifted to Ghislaine Maxwell, the daughter of British media tycoon Robert Maxwell. Survivors identified her as the madam of the operation, the one responsible for recruiting and grooming the girls for Epstein. After going into hiding, Maxwell was arrested in a remote New Hampshire farmhouse in 2020. In December 2021, she was convicted on 5 counts, including sex trafficking of a minor. In June 2022, she was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. Her trial provided the first formal legal validation for the survivors' stories, detailing how she used her social standing to lure vulnerable girls into a nightmare. The saga reached its climax in 2025. Following years of public demand, the U.S. government passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Signed into law in November 2025, the act mandated the declassification and release of over 1.2 million pages of documents related to the investigation. The releases of late 2025 and early 2026 have been seismic. They revealed correspondence from Ghislaine Maxwell using the code name, the Invisible Man, to refer to Prince Andrew in the context of arranging meetings. New flight logs provided more granular data on who traveled to the island and when, contradicting several high-profile denials. While not a single list in the traditional sense, the files contain names of hundreds of associates, many of whom were previously unknown to the public. FBI reports also detailed the discovery of thousands of photographs and video recordings at Epstein's residences, strengthening the theory that the island was designed to collect compromat on the world's elite. As of early 2026, the fallout continues. The Epstein case has fundamentally changed how the public views the intersection of wealth, power, and justice. It led to the downfall of powerful CEOs, the humiliation of a royal house, and a massive reckoning within the U.S. justice system regarding how the wealthy are prosecuted. The December 2025 deadline for document release saw a massive dump of 30,000 pages, with photos of celebrities like Chris Tucker, Michael Jackson, and Mick Jagger surfacing in Epstein's personal collections, although many names were released without accusations of direct wrongdoing. For the survivors, the path to justice has been long and painful. A compensation fund established from Epstein's estate has paid out over $150 million to more than 150 women. While no amount of money can erase the trauma, the public exposure of the Epstein Files has finally brought a sense of transparency to a case that was shrouded in darkness for over 30 years. The story of Little St. James is no longer a secret. The island has since been sold to a billionaire developer who intends to turn it into a luxury resort. But for the world, it will always remain a symbol of the island of sin and the brave women who finally tore down the walls of Epstein's empire. The investigative journey into Epstein's world revealed more than just a single criminal. It exposed a systemic failure where high society protection allowed a predator to thrive. From the early days at the Dalton School, where he allegedly behaved inappropriately with students, to his time at Bear Stearns where he lied about his credentials, Epstein's career was built on deception. His transition into a bounty hunter for the stolen money of the ultra-wealthy provided him the capital to buy his way into the lives of the most powerful people on Earth. The 2025 document releases, mandated by a near-unanimous Congress, have begun to answer the lingering questions about how deep the rot went. While the DOJ admits that millions of pages still remain under review due to privacy concerns for victims, The files already public have permanently scarred the reputations of those who turned a blind eye. The legal system is now grappling with the fact that for decades, Epstein and Maxwell operated with a sense of invincibility, often telling victims that they owned the police. Today, with Maxwell in a Florida prison and the Epstein Files slowly revealing the truth, that wall of invincibility has finally crumbled.